Hello everyone, this is Don. I'm in Kingdom 410 this morning. After the video we posted up last night, of course we had a little blowback, of course. I have no clue what was said in Kingdom chat, not going to look. But I'm going to do a couple series on these videos because this is important on not just our society in the United States, but societies in general. Now, the United States is one of the only countries that has constitutional amendments for free speech and right to property and things like that. So you have to forgive some of the other countries when they have no respect for what you own, what you built, what you're building. And by this, I mean it's a game. It's a strategy game. It is not a war game. It uses troops. It uses stuff like that. But it is a game of the mind. It should be challenging you mentally and not frustrating you daily. The events are set up in a manner that you will, if you follow the event pattern in such a way, you will grow every single event cycle. Okay, you don't even have to spend money in this game, and I've done hundreds of videos showing you how to do that. And I promise you that the developers had followed a bunch of my suggestions. The company is making more money, and that is because it has more players who will spend a little bit. So before I did the first video on the K410 doing the issuing their government they voted in, I went into KC and I did a little KC trolling in that day, and I got everybody like, go buy the 99-cent packs and get bubbles, because they thought, well, we're in the top 10 and we're going to farm everybody else in the kingdom arbitrarily. And they didn't realize what they created up was literally they mimicked a slave society. You are now my property. When I need something, I will come to your field and gather my crop from you. We have voted on it, and since we voted to steal from you, we'll call it a republic. Quite frankly, I find the misuse of all the words completely bogus. If you're going to call this kingdom's government or try to create a community, because each kingdom is its own community, all right? There are kingdoms out there that have been at bloody war for years, and they get momentary pause and they go back to beating on each other again almost daily. And there's people who like that play style. I don't particularly care for that play style. One, it's not beneficial for what I do when I'm educating people, but it's because what I basically would have to tell you if to combine is like keep clicking that buy more button. And as you can see up there, I got 40,000 gold in there, so I'm clicking that buy more button. All right. Like I said, I am planning out a series of these videos for this stuff. Okay, because first we use our words. All right. We say free speech, but we don't understand what free speech means. And free speech is free to express your opinion to your government. It is not free from the consequences of the crap that spills from your mouth. So if you run into KC and say your mother's, a spotted owl, I'm cleaning up what I was thinking, or call somebody a sperm burping penis leech, all clean words. If you're doing that, you're not free. Someone's going to zero you if they got the power. They're just not going to tolerate it. That guy that zeroed you is not a bully. You're the dumbass who started a fight that you couldn't handle. And that's not free speech, and that's not bullying. That's a misuse of the two words. Just because somebody's bigger. Generally, you will find in this game, and it's been my experience, I've been playing this for a long time, as most people get bigger, they actually get more passive. They have more to risk. They can spend more time, and they also realize that they need a team to accomplish the big goals. This is why we don't do what they did in Kingdom 410. You destroyed teamwork. I mean, you will never get it back. And I regret one of the things that I did in this kingdom was I couldn't abandon where we were in K362. We were fighting one person who was of this nature, who has since quit the game because basically the whole kingdom is now coalescing and growing, and we're sending trainers over to other alliances in Kingdom 310 in 362 to help bring the alliance that the great big coiner wound up ruining. Okay, we want them to be good. It helps us with what's coming next, and inter kingdom KEs are coming next, and this kingdom is going to get rolled. KVKs this weekend. I'll be interested to see how that works out. It's one of the reasons, like I said, I came in the previous video. I came on here to coin a little bit to be helpful in KVK. That was my full intention when I jumped back on here. I was gonna, throw a 500,000 troops on here real quick and and get all my banners up in there. I was gonna dump $400 in here anyway, just to be helpful in their first KVK. And when I saw what was going on, I'm like, I am not supporting that, because I cannot turn around and tell the guys that are still loyal inside the alliance that, this is the way that you play the game, because it's not how you play the game. This is not even how you live life. This is a community of dysfunction that is feeding off each other's dysfunction at this point. So I don't want to out anybody, so I'm going to keep that down. I've got a whole bunch of PM messages of support, and I got you, and I have a whole bunch of people who built new castles in here that wanted to join up and help. They realize that, hey, a few hundred, there's people out there who spend $800 a month on this game just to have fun, and to them it sounds nice to have a kingdom where they can go in there and just bloody burn the hell out of everybody if that's what they want. And we've helped so many people so many times with saving their money. If you're going to spend $100 a month or $400 or $800, if you're following the methods, you're going to get more bang for the buck. We're not completely about free play. Free play works, but free play only works when you're working with the people that you are allowing to free play around you. Make sure they're growing. Make sure they're doing their stuff. Free is worth every penny you pay for it. Okay, and what I mean by that is when people hear the word free, they put no value in what it is that is free, including my advice. My advice to you right now is free. Okay, so there's a large dismissal of the advice. I have to say it in a way that clicks. It goes, oh, that's good. And then because I'm conservative, I got a whole world of 20 to 25-year-old men who all think they know everything the minute they have a thought, and sometimes they've been brainwashed into thinking that the world's against them. The world's not against you, you're against yourself. I retired the first time. I've retired multiple times. The first time at 27. Okay. Now, guys, I spent 6 years in combat. From the time I was 17 to I was 23. So when I say I retired at 27, I only worked in the real world for 4 years. But when I got out, I was already working 120, between 115 and 120 hours a week. I went straight to work. By the time I was 27 years old, I'd put enough hours in that if you take a man from the time he's 18 to 65 working a 40-hour week, I'd already completed those hours. I was smart with my money. I bought my house. I bought my cars. They were paid for, and things went up in value. And at that point, when I say I retire, I just quit doing things that needed to make stupid money. I used to build ion implanters, little miniature atomic accelerators. I built the machines that built the computer chips that are in your device right now. That's how far back into this stuff I go. But not what I wanted to do. I may be good at it. I may be that smart, but it's not fun for me to work on high-end electronics and robots all stinking day long. I'd much rather work on a frickin' Ford 302. I got a 66 Fairlane with a 360 Shelby in the thing. It's one of those cars that it eats a lot of my wrenching time when I can hold a wrench these days. So I'm the leukemia kind of bound me to this game where I have to be indoors and sit, and I got to stay out of the heat, and I can't be moving my arms around as much as I used to. So that's why I do what I'm doing here. Is I'm back to using my brain. I'd much rather be doing something else. So when I'm sitting there going, well, I'm going to spend 8-10 hours a day playing with you guys, I want to play with good people. I don't want to play with somebody that wants to steal from someone else. I don't want to play with somebody who can't put the work in. If you're playing this game, you're not working. And there's a true fact of life. That is, if you're not making money, you're spending money. And so when you're on this game, you're spending money. Because you're not making it. And you got to get some of these little truisms to sink into your brain and say them over and over again, because it takes 45 days to build a new pathway in the brain. If you've been brainwashed and you realize, like, for the second, like, well, damn, that's true. If I'm not actually out there working to make money, then I'm blowing. And then every time you catch yourself not working, you got to get yourself up off your butt and make yourself work. It really is sometimes a struggle to do that. It's even worse if you're intelligent. You know what the problem with high IQ people is? High IQ people already know the answer. Why do I have to do the work? It's not a benefit at times. It's there. The prisons are filled with high IQ people. So, now, one of the things I logged in here to update you guys on is I got a new title. So, we hit a nerve on the video yesterday, and having not talked to her, and the reason I can't talk to her is she blocked me. So, cannot talk to my government. That's why we built the video and did the thing. It says, you know what happens when you can't hold a discussion? At that point, I have to use my Second Amendment. That means I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to kill you because you don't want to represent me anymore. You don't want to hear how you have decided that my property is your property and you'll take it any time you feel like it. Because if you're doing it as a group effort, and we need to separate the individual who thinks this way from the group. Once you vote that into policy for a kingdom, you can't back down from that. You've got to say, okay, well, no, we're going to... And I had everybody trying to justify it. Well, we decided how you're going to play the game, and we decided we were going to have just a few big alliances. Okay, that's not a decision you make. That is generally what happens with attrition over time. Kingdoms don't get reseeded. Now, the new Interkingdom KE. The rumor is, okay, that you're only going to lose 10% of your troops for real. 90% of them will be UAC style. And when you can loot and plunder, and you can give that loot away to somebody. What this means is older kingdoms should be able to promote themselves in some way to reseed new players. Because a lot of these events, I don't care how big the players are, Kingdom 362 wins all its events for one reason. My guys are active. I've got people who show up every day, every time, and sometimes they can only show up 8 hours on a UAC Saturday, but during that 8 hours, they're stealing loot and plundering away, and we walk away from the freaking things. We're not powerful, and we're not even trying to pretend to be. And I even had somebody in one of the mails. It's on my Gunmuse mail. That was talking about. It's like, man, I looked at your alliance on Gunmuse, and you guys got nobody. We got everybody. My C26s will smack the crap out of your C30s all stinking day long. Why don't you're looking at that power number like it means something. And it was one of the things that really took place here is they were looking at this power number. They go, oh my gosh, he's 30 million power. Well, if I freaking switch my gear, I'm not. The switch my gear over and I'm like, what, 55 or something, 58. They don't comprehend this small side. I'm over here building. I'm building troops. And I'm storing them over here. They're coming over. First I got to fill up the hospital. I had to put the Alliance Hospital down, and I recommend people don't do this. Okay, but I'm not in the kingdom enough to harp on the need to donate. Okay, this is stinking vital that you get in here and donate. All right, one that's going to allow me to put my fourth tower up. Okay, but more importantly, I'm going to get another battlefield research done. So I've got a month-long plan here, and we'll run a couple more events. We'll do some stuff here, and yes, I know, don't go over the timer, but I'm not going to be on for the rest of the day. I'm not putting a ton of effort into this. I am just going to use this to illustrate how we got here. Okay, so let's talk about that. All the people that are wishing me well, that thank you. But the reality is, it's a digital game. You're sitting at home alone with your device. Okay, if you don't have morals there and conviction, I want to use that word. I'm hoping everybody that's under 25 actually understands what that means. That you don't turn around and have conviction in something that is immoral. You can have convictions against things that are immoral too. But if you don't have the conviction to stand up against it, then you wind up with what you get. It only takes for good people to do nothing for evil to evolve. And you literally witnessed it. I want you guys to look at these kingdoms as governments, because that's what they are. There is always a back room where deals are made. There is always a small vote of some kind, whether it's through action or inaction. It's like you're like, oh, it's so and so. The back deal was so and so's in the king rotation this time. Okay, why is that person in the king rotation? Well, they spent money last month. That qualifies them to run the kingdom. How? Okay, and I've been harping on this a little bit, that the king position is an administrative job. Yes, some people look at it as like, well, he gets to get gold. You know what? God bless the king that and we're doing KVK this weekend, and I actually get to pick the king. And God bless the guy that's got to do the job. He can have all the gold he can milk out of it. Because it's a tedious job. Akira in this kingdom, through her little hissy fit, she's blocked my communications. She threw a title on me last night, as you saw, which in my opinion just kind of proves the point that they don't want to be challenged in what they're planning to do, and that is take everything that's not nailed down for themselves, and then that they'll be the Uber Castle. And I brought her into a room full of old kingdoms for the purpose of trying to educate her in that it doesn't work. This plan of yours doesn't work. This stuff is stretched out over time. People are going to change with time. Suddenly somebody's going to be playing this game. They're going to enjoy it. And then they're just going to drop $8,000 on it out of nowhere because they can. It'll happen. It may not happen, but it will happen. So it's weird to see this stuff. Let me look and see what went on with war. Now, I got told that they were eliminating the NAP. Somebody said, one of the guys yesterday told me that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not opening my mail to out the other people that support. I should have gone in there clean and deleted that before I started the video. So we can see KOG, GOD, lots of KOG. This is probably somebody that was plundering. ROR. We're in the middle of the week. We're in the middle of the gold event. They're out there killing people who are trying to get the gold for the bubbles that they recommend. All right? And so this is proof positive of how stupid this is, because they act like it's only them that do it. Well, I didn't plunder you yesterday, so you just buy a bubble. Well, you told 1,000 players to go plunder us. You made it the law of the kingdom. When are they supposed to get the resources? Well, if you go on and you buy the 99-cent deal, you get 3,000 gold with that. That's 4 times a week. So you say you haven't watched my videos, huh? You figured that out all by yourself. You know, and they don't get the concept if I told them to go buy something so that I can come over and steal it tomorrow, that they wouldn't think so highly of my policy in thinking that way. So it's just a matter of reversing the thinking a little bit. Still doesn't sink in. And so we can go in here live and see what's going on in KC. Let's do that. They lost an hour line. Oh, see, they're bitching about my video. There we go. Hey, look at that. What timing. They learn nothing. They learn they have no morals. See, the spread lies. And before I even went to the KC to show you guys, I demonstrated that they've been doing it. Oh, and there's somebody. Oh, no, that's not. They think that a C-30 is what's going to take to kill them. That's what's sad. All right, guys, they want trolls at this point. But you see, that's the point here. They didn't learn anything. They're still right in their thinking. Well, we need to keep stealing. We need to keep insulting. We need to keep, and then wonder why it's not working. They'll worry later about how it works. I can't show you the room up there because that's got people from all over the kingdoms. Okay, so I'll shorten this down a little bit here. Just give you a day 2 status of where their mindset is headed. Deliberately, they're digging in their heels right now. And it's like, well, we're going to keep it up. So the bullshit that I got told, I was like, well, we're changing that rule already. You haven't changed that rule. You're not even dreaming of it. At no point is, crap, we were wrong, I'm sorry. Them words are not going to be uttered. Because a leftist can't be wrong. They had a thought. All thoughts are valid. When you start putting it into context of how that mindset thinks, it's like, all points of view are valid. No, not all points of view are valid. I think that slavery was bad. I think it was a stupid idea. I think you rolling your troops down into people's castles and then demanding that they join your alliance, I think that reflects World War II, pretty much. Hitler was elected. If you're going to copy the man's plan, then I don't understand why you don't like the label. Because it has a negative connotation to it? I'm not calling you racist. I'm just calling you ignorant. You didn't learn anything while you were being educated. You don't know the tactics he's using, but you're implementing them. They didn't work out very well for him. We consider those tactics bad the minute you turn around and knee-jerk call me a racist for pointing it out. So I know you know the difference between right and wrong, but why can you not observe your own actions as the difference between right and wrong? So, appreciate it, guys. Like, subscribe. I'm going to create a playlist that is specifically for following this stuff, and I'm going to keep it off the Guns of Glory app playlist because this is a project to try and see, can we take people who have no education in sportsmanship and zero communication skills. The minute you throw a fact at them, they throw an insult back. It's where we got to this point to where they're now being made public, and they don't like the fact that they're being called out publicly. Well, then you don't block the communication. You acknowledge what's being said. You realize that it's wrong. That's called communication. Or you turn around and you say, I don't care. I'm going to steal your stuff. Get used to it. Have the balls to admit it at some point. I don't really give a damn one way or another. At least I know exactly where I stand and what I'm dealing with. But if it's going to be your policy, and it's going to be the groupthink policy, then everybody that doesn't have a C30 right now probably needs to abandon the damn kingdom. Because that's a policy that will drift upwards. It'll be top 10 today, be top 5 next week, be top 3 in a few months. And then it'll be, well, if you're not in our main alliance, we're just plundering the crap out of you. Seen it happen. All right? Left the kingdom because of it, because the people that were there that were strong enough to do anything about it wouldn't join me who was strong enough to do anything about it. Anytime I went head to head with those guys, I was alone doing it. And that was a problem, not for me. I just pick up and move on. But I'm still in the line chat. They're still complaining about the same things they were complaining 8 months ago. And I don't mean to use the word complain, but I mean, they let it get out of control to where it's so far out of control. People who steal will keep stealing. And once they hit certain plateaus, it's impossible to stop them from doing that. So you got to cut them off with the legs before they get up to them plateaus. That's just all there is to it. And for Akira, who's probably going to watch this, even though she says she's not going to, I'm not going to C30. I can. Not the point. I don't need to be a C30 to be your C30s. I hate to tell you this. It's in that bad a shape. You need all kinds of help. And when I've tried, all I get is hateful crap back because it's not me repeating what it is you're already doing. And that's what you're not getting, is you just refuse to acknowledge that when somebody says something different to you, it's not an argument, it's a discussion. So, all right, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.